Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Sunday, May 15, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 500 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting picks that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Boston Celtics vs Milwaukee Bucks. For this game we have two betting picks. Our team pick is Bucks +5, and here is why. The Bucks have not been a good bet overall this season at 44-48-1 against the spread, including 2-3-1 in this series so far. Overs are 45-48 for Milwaukee, and 9 of its 11 playoff games have gone under the betting total. This is the third highest scoring offense in the NBA, at 115.5 points per game, on shooting splits of 54.4% from 2 and 36.6% from 3, both top 8 marks. Milwaukee's defense is below average across the board, with 112.1 points per game, on opposing shooting splits of 53.7% from 2 and 35.6% from deep, although it has been much better since the start of the playoffs. Antetokounmpo had another incredible season, averaging 29.9 points, 11.6 rebounds, 5.8 assists, 1.1 steals and 1.6 blocks per game on 55.3% shooting from the field. Holiday adds 18.3 points, 6.8 assists and 1.6 steals per game, while Bobby Portis enjoyed a strong campaign at 14.6 points and 9.1 rebounds per contest. Chris Middleton, Milwaukee's second leading scorer with 20.1 points per game, hasn't played this series after suffering an MCL sprain in round 1 and is reportedly unlikely to return for Game 7. Boston has enjoyed a strong season against the spread at 51-39-2, including a mark of 6-3-1 in the playoffs thus far. Overs 44-46-2 for the Celtics, with 4 of the 6 games during this current series going under the betting total. The Celtics have a solidly above average offense at 111.8 points per game on 54.7% shooting from 2 and 35.6% shooting from 3. Defense is much more of a strength with Boston, allowing 104.5 points per game on opposing shooting splits of 49.7% from 2 and 33.9% from beyond the arc, all of which are the best marks in the NBA. Tatum has been outstanding all year with 26.9 points, 8 rebounds and 4.4 assists per game. Jaylen Brown adds 23.6 points and 6.1 rebounds per game, while Smart chips in 12.1 points, 5.9 assists and 1.7 steals per contest, while winning the Defensive Player of the Year award. Center Robert Williams III, a crucial player who averages 10 points, 9 rebounds and 2.2 blocks per game on 73.6% shooting from the field, has missed the last 3 games with a bone bruise in his knee and is questionable. Reserve forward Sam Hauser is questionable due to a shoulder issue. With how tight this head-to-head matchup has been both in the regular season and during this back-and-forth series, anything over one possession either way feels like too much. Home court and momentum haven't meant anything throughout the series, and the fact that the Bucks have the most dominant player in the league gives them a great chance in a winner-take-all setting. The only reason Milwaukee is even in this position is due to the brilliance of Antetokounmpo, who is averaging 40 points, 15.3 rebounds and 5 assists per game over the last 4 contests. As fantastic as the Boston defense is, Antetokounmpo is the rare type of player who can take over against any opponent, and Williams III being hobbled is a major factor as the Celtics lose size and rim protection. Consistently getting secondary scoring is always going to be the question for the Celtics, who probably can't rely on such an absurdly good showing from Tatum every night, and also likely won't shoot so well from the perimeter again, as they are only 14th in 3-point field goal percentage. Pulling off the outright upset on the road might be too much for the Bucks, but this is setting up to be a classic that comes down to the last possession. Our total pick is under 208.5 runs. The Milwaukee Bucks are averaging 104.7 points on 44.4% shooting and allowing 100.5 points on 42.1% shooting. Giannis Antetokounmpo is averaging 31.1 points and 13 rebounds, while Jrue Holiday is averaging 19.1 points and 6 rebounds. Chris Middleton is the third double-digit scorer, and Bobby Portis is grabbing 10.4 rebounds. Phoenix Suns vs Dallas Mavericks. For this game we have two betting picks. Our team pick is Dallas +6, and here is why. The Jekyll and Hyde nature of the Suns' play this postseason has to be concerning, but there isn't any time for the Suns to dissect it heading into Game 7. The Suns will need 37-year-old Paul to find his A-game once again after having a mediocre series up to this point. Paul is averaging just 14 points per game and 6 assists in the series, both off of his regular season numbers of nearly 15 points per game and over 10 assists. More concerning is the number of turnovers in the series. After averaging just over 2 turnovers per game during the regular season, Paul is turning the ball over nearly 4 times per game in the series. In addition, he has scored in single digits in 2 of the last 3 games. While Paul is no longer the premier scorer he was earlier in his career, he is still capable of big games, as evidenced by his 28 points in Game 2. Ultimately, Game 7 will likely come down to which Chris Paul shows up. The Dallas Mavericks held serve again on Thursday night with a 113-86 win over Phoenix in Game 6 to force a 7th and deciding game. Luka Doncic scored 33 points, had 11 rebounds and grabbed 8 assists to once again lead the Mavs in all 3 categories in the blowout win. Doncic also had 4 steals in the game as Dallas held the high-scoring Suns under 100 points for the second time in 3 games at home. Once again it was the Dallas defense that told the story as the Mavs held Phoenix to just 40% shooting on the night. Doncic was supported by 19 points from Reggie Bullock and 18 points from Jalen Brunson. Dallas drilled 16 3-PT field goals on the night, led by Bullock's 5 for 11 and Spencer Dinwiddie's 5 for 7. As they head into Game 7, Dallas head coach Jason Kidd knows that his star player, Doncic, will be ready. In a series devoid of close games, this final game will come down to the wire. Game 7s are typically tight because both teams have been effectively scouting each other for nearly 2 weeks. The Suns will benefit from the extra day's rest between games, particularly Paul. However, Doncic will be able to keep this game tight. The 23-year-old is one of the top 5 players in the NBA and can instill his will in a do-or-die game like this one. I fully expect this to be a one-possession game in the final minutes. Paul will not have consecutive games of 5 or more turnovers and will pick his spots when to score. Despite his single-digit scoring games in multiple games, Paul is still shooting 56% from the field against Dallas. He will keep it tight even as Dallas employs their small forwards to harass him over the floor. The winner of this game is truly a toss-up and may come down to final possession. Dallas will utilize pressure defense and control the tempo with Doncic, while Phoenix will pound the ball inside to DeAndre Ayton and take advantage of mismatches. Ultimately, in a series full of blowouts, 6 points is too much to lay in a deciding game. Our total pick is under 205.5 points. Phoenix was only able to score 100+ points once during the 3 games in Dallas. However, they have gone 3-0 at home in the series and haven't scored less than 110 points. As for Game 6, the Suns shot 39.7% from the field and went 6-18 from beyond the arc, 33.3%. A big storyline throughout the postseason that carried over in Game 6 was the turnovers for the Suns. They turned the ball over 22 times in the game, and that led to 29 points off of turnovers for the Mavs. Dallas also beat the Suns in fast break points, outsourcing them 21-8 in that category. As for individual efforts, DeAndre Ayton led the way with 21 points, and he grabbed 11 boards in the loss. Devin Booker had an off night, shooting 6-17 from the field and 0-4 from 3-point range. He scored 19 points and added 8 rebounds. It's been a back-and-forth series for Dallas, but their biggest win came at home in Game 6. It was a 113-86 routing at American Airlines Center, with the Mavs improving to 3-0 at home during the series. Dallas covered the +2 spread in the game, and the final score failed to clear the 214.0 point total set by the odds makers. The Mavs shot 45.5% from the field and cashed 41.0% of their deep balls, going 16-39. They also held the trend of getting to the free throw line, where they went 27-36 from the charity stripe. It was none other than Luka Doncic leading the scoring charge for the Mavericks. The superstar guard dropped 33 points in the game, while adding 11 rebounds and 8 assists. Spencer Dinwiddie contributed 15 points off of the bench in the win. Disclaimer, no financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information contained in or provided from or through this channel is not intended to be and does not constitute financial advice, investment advice, trading advice, or any other advice. The information on this channel and provided from or through this channel is general in nature and is not specific to you, the user, or anyone else. You should not make any decision, financial, investment, trading, or otherwise, based on any of the information presented on this channel without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or financial advisory.